Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk with you about part 107 of the FAA's Airman Knowledge Test. I recently bought a drone and I am looking forward to flying it as often and as, wherever, whenever type thing. The problem is I live by a major airport that is LAX, Los Angeles International, Class B, heavy traffic. I live within, so the limit for a drone is 5 miles. I live 5.1, but they still consider it five. So I'm in real muddy water when it comes to wanting to fly this Holy Stone drone I got. So I've been doing some research trying to figure out, what do? You hear about people, you need to register your drone, you need to do this, you need to do that. Do I need to get a license? There's a million questions and it's like, what do I do? Um, I'm not going to really in this video break down, just kind of talk about it more than just show it. You do have to register your drone if it's 0.55 pounds or more up to 55 pounds. Okay, so if the drone you get weighs at least 0.55 pounds all the way up to 55 pounds, you have to register it. Okay, you have to at least be 13 years old. If you're not, you cannot register the drone. It has to be someone 13 years older. And there's some other stipulations that you can go to. I'm gonna put the link in my description. It's a FAA site where you could register. It's like FAA Drone Zone, I think it was called. So you go there, you register any questions, stuff like that you have, they can kind of answer. I want to talk about the part 107. So I want to be able to fly at night. I want to be able to fly close to where I live, if not where I live. I want to be able to fly for profit. That's a big thing. So in order to do these things, you have to get your Part 107 FAA certification for drones. Okay, and it's a 60 question test. You have about 2 hours, just under 2 hours to do it, and you have to score at least a 70%, or I think that's no less than 14. I took the test today. It is June 18th, 2022, and I went, it's a Saturday, I went, took the test. They give you results right then and there, like as soon as you finish. I got a 90. I don't know if you guys kind of put out my name, but 90%, and it says FAA regularly on da 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 and grade pass. But so what the thing is, they don't tell you which exact questions you got wrong. What they do is they tell you the code. So the first one I missed was UA point I point B as in Bravo point Kilo 1 point K1. You'll see it right here if I could get it up to you. Summer. Oh, my thumbs up right there. Anyways, so what you're supposed to do is go back into the handbook and look it up, and it's supposed to tell you generally what it was. I think this one, the first one I missed was registration requirements. I, it happens so fast. The test happens so fast. I remember going into the testing center, and the people were testing for cosmetology license, contracting license. So it wasn't just going for drones. And I think I was the only one. There was like 20 some odd people. This is Saturday at 9 a.m. So, anyways, once you take the test and you complete it, you get your results, pass, fail. As I said, I got 90. I missed 6. And so the first one it says was registration requirements for a small UAS, SUAS. I know you have to be at least 13. I think the question was something about citizenship. I don't remember. And I wish they gave you the question so you have some reference. I mean, you have reference, but you don't have reference. If you guys understand what I mean. Some other ones I missed. I missed a Category 3 question. You guys are gonna have to know the different categories that the FAA has. Like registration requirements for Category 3 again, it's like 0.55 up to 55. But that's something you'll have to know. Man, guys, the one that stumped me the most had to do with ADSB out. That's Alpha Delta Sierra hyphen B as in Bravo out. I never heard of an ADSB. I had never considered what an ADSB might be here. I'm actually, let me look it up. I think it was ADS. Okay, so it allows equipped aircraft and ground vehicles to broadcast their identification, position, altitude, and velocity to other aircraft in ATC. So, and this is like a new requirement that the FAA is coming out with. I didn't check the supplement book to see what year the supplement book was that I was given when you take the test. So when you take the test, the FAA will give you this supplemental book. Let me see if I could put it up on the screen for you guys. I don't know if I'll be able to. Yeah, but it's a supplemental book that you get, and it has a really good chart on it. Let me see. Here it is. Okay, good. It's coming up. So when you guys go take your test, you're going to get this book. They will hand you this book at the testing center. They will give you, I got 2 pencils, transparency paper, which was actually really good because I could put it over this supplemental book, like on the charts and stuff, and write. So normally they give you like scratch paper. They gave me transparency paper with a dry erase marker and a eraser. So anyways, this, let you guys, if nothing else, this page right here, this sectional aeronautical chart. It's sorry, we gotta get the pages right. All right, so this sectional chart will save you during this test if you get stumped when it comes to airspace, airport data, stuff like that. So I mean, if you guys look, you will see that they specifically give you all the information that you'll need as far as the airspaces go. They explain the airspaces. They explain the obstruction. So if the map says, hey, 4 miles, if the test says, hey, 4 miles northwest of Van Nuys Airport, there's a obstruction. What's the highest altitude? You'll be able to go to that map, and then, if you're not sure what you're looking at, you can refer back to this sectional aeronautical chart. And just to give you a little idea of what I mean is, so here we're gonna have to rotate it back, guys. I'm sorry, counterclock. Let's turn it back. So this is a sectional chart, very common of what you might get. That's funny. No shit. Oh, excuse me. No BS. I actually saw this map during my test today. That's crazy. So it had asked about the location of which airport was like at 47 and some minutes and 101 in like 1 minute. And I had wound up putting Washburn, which is right down here. You guys can see. And a good question here. Here's like an example question. What airport is located approximately 47 degrees 40 minutes north latitude and 101 degrees and 26 minutes west longitude, according to this map? And it wound up being Garrison Airport, which is right here. Anyways, you're gonna have to know how to read these charts, like how each line represents 1 minute, and then every 5th minute the line's a little longer, and then every 10th minute the line's even longer. So these are things you're gonna have to know how to read. If it says it's at 48 minutes or 48 degrees and 10 minutes, what does that mean? These are things you're gonna have to know. When I say have to know, you will guaranteed get questioned on this on the test. Let me tell you before I go any further, guys, the test, you have plenty of time. I cannot emphasize that enough. Anybody that says, oh, I felt rushed or I didn't have enough time, you had to have been completely unprepared, because the test really does give you, I found myself like, wow, I have so much time. Yes, I missed 6, and those 6 I mean, I went back and went back and went back. I guess I just didn't know it. So I could have had an extra 10 hours and I wouldn't have, I just didn't know them. But you will have plenty of time. So make sure you're relaxed. Make sure you're deep breath. Be calm. It's not nothing crazy. No anything like that. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. You'll either know it or you don't, and more than likely you will. So another question they asked me was on the TAF, the Terminal Aerodrome, DROM as in Mary E forecasts, and how they're different than from a METAR. And so I'm gonna give you guys. Let me see if I could. I think it's figure 15. Okay, so here's an example TAF, a Terminal Aerodrome forecast, and one of the questions asked from what time to what time was this TAF for Memphis, I'm trying to look at my notes, valid? And of course, if you know how to read a TAF, you'll know that the first two numbers are the start date, the second two numbers are the start time of the same month, and then this set, this is the end date of the TAF for the same month, and this is the end time for the TAF. All right, so that means it starts on the 12th. Let's say this is June. So it started on the 12th of June at 1800 or at 6 o'clock, and it will end, or its validity will be no more on the 13th of June at 2400 or midnight. So essentially, it's good from whatever month it's in and time till this month, the same month. It's all in the same month. So if you see a 1 here and a 7 here, it's in the same month. If and it won't ever go over to another month. So always know that the dates are going to be of the same month. So it says, when is this valid for, the date, and it'll say, like, it'll either have times, it'll say the correct answer would be what, 16 or 1800 to 2400. It might have times. It might say from 800 0800 to 01000. No. It'll say from 1800 to 2000. No. It's 1800 to 2400. If we look down at the one for Oklahoma City, KOKC, again, we have the date, the time, the date, the time, right? So it's good from the 5th, let's say, of June until the 6th of June, and the time is from 12 noon until 1800, till 6 o'clock. These are things you should know. I think one question asked me, at what time did the clouds at, I think it was like Chicago, become overcast? It was something like this down here. It was something. What the heck? Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't. Okay, so it's something like this down here, and it had asked me, what time did the clouds become overcast? And I think I had put like this time, if I'm not mistaken. But then it might have been up here. So I don't know. Again, it didn't tell me which one I got wrong. It just said one of the questions I got wrong had to do with the TAF. And those are the ones I remember were just asking me. One asked me, how long was it valid for? And the other one asked me, at what time did a specific action happen? And which was, what time did the clouds become overcast? And I don't know if it was, I chose this one. It was probably wrong. It should have been this one. But, I mean, I see time. It was just, so you have to know how to read a TAF report. A Terminal Aerodrome forecast. You will have to know how to read it, okay? It's actually not complicated. I probably should have spent a little more time studying. Okay, so check this out. I actually love aviation. I was never able to afford it, growing up, but the passion has never died, and I actually have like every flight simulator since Flight Sim 98 came out, and I mean, I have the yoke, the rudder pedals, the everything. I like the Airbus. I have the whole setup, and that's the closest I can get to flying. So I guess I kind of know how to read sectional charts. I understand how to read a METAR report. There's some things I just knew from flight simming all the time because I take it serious, and I would love to be an actual pilot. I would love to get my flying license. I just life has never afforded me the luxury of being able to afford it. One day, someday, somehow, I'm going to figure it out. I don't know if you can tell, but I really, really do love aviation. I feel like in another life, that's what I did. But I guess in the meantime, the closest I could do is fly a drone. So, if I can't go into the sky personally, at least I'll be able to control something that does, so to speak. Um, but anyways, okay, getting back to our thing. So also so I missed a question on registration requirements, category 3, the ADS hyphen B out. I missed a question on the terminal aerodrome forecast, the TAF. And then I missed 2 questions on air masses and fronts and ceilings and visibility. Um, Sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. So you have you just when you're recording, sometimes you can't control everything, ladies and gentlemen. So um I want to make a more thorough video coming up. Maybe I have a bunch of questions, stuff like that, things that we can kind of go over. I see it's a little more in depth than I'd initially thought. But take this when you guys go in, as you guys prepare, the stuff just put it aside. Really kind of focus on things that the TAF reports, reading those sectional charts, um, knowing airspaces. If what airspace allows what are the ceilings of airspaces, what are the how where do airspaces start, their surface, so to speak, like their base level, their ceiling levels. When do you have to contact ATC, when do you not, things about accidents. There's a plethora to know, but most of it will come easy. Most of it, once you see it once or twice, you'll, I got it, no problem. And then there's some stuff like those sectional charts. Sometimes you'll see a sectional have. Ooh, the other day I looked at the sectional chart for LAX and I almost had a seizure. It blew my mind, and to think that there are people that really, really, really know how to read these charts. I mean, can read it as if it's ABC. Um, but just take your time, study, don't stress. Once you're there, I'm telling you, 60 questions, you could miss 17 total. I know I'm preferably you miss none. Like I said, I missed 6. I wish I missed none. But it had nothing to do with being stressed. It had nothing to do with not having enough time. It had nothing to do with I just didn't know the answers to those 6 questions. Um, Everything else you can learn. There are plenty of videos out there. There are plenty of practice tests out there. One I found really good. I think it's from King Air. I'm gonna put the link in that description as well. Or King Schools. King Schools. They have you can take these practice drone tests, and they have 8 or 9 different versions, and it's a really good thing. And there's plenty of others, and just do some research. YouTube Part 107 practice test, things like that, and they'll come up. But hey, this is the first video I've made of this type of content. I'm usually streaming my flight sims or something like that. So give me your questions, give me your comments, give me your concerns. If you guys see something, believe me, I am not an expert. I have never been an expert. I do not proclaim to be an expert. I am just me, a regular guy who lives in LA, who's trying to live out a dream of a sort, so to speak. So don't be afraid to reach out if you're just like, hey, I need help, or can you lead me here, or you have a question about this, or you're like, hey dude, your videos suck, I can take it, or hey, your video rocked. I hope you like my shirt, Second Chances. There's a story behind it. Um, but anyways, take care, and I'll see you next time.